The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.
Welcome to How to Money with Cole and Cole.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Cole.
We coach people every day on their money and how to plan for the future.
As financial advisors, we're here to have an honest conversation on investing, retirement, and everything in between.
At Full Swing Financial Planning, we're here to empower you to take control of your plan, your way, for your financial future.
So let's talk money.
And sports.
Welcome back to How to Money with Cole and Cole. And guess what? We have hit 100 episode, boys. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
100 episodes.
That means you
awesome.
guys have got to spend 100 days with me. Lucky you.
I don't know about that. But maybe with Peter. That would be
Yeah, there
more.
we go.
Yeah.
Peter actually wasn't the original, but still, he's really escalated the podcast.
Yes,
He's
he does.
really taken it to another level.
You've done a great job, Peter.
We were talking about this off air. We started back in 2022.
March of 2022.
When Cole came over from Edward Jones, joined our team, and the evolution is just endless here with
We're
us.
a little over almost to 4 years that I've been doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
A lot of topics, a lot of fun conversations, a lot of Cubs talk.
A lot of editing. For
ton of editing.
A bunch of F words
beeps,
for Bailey.
Potty mouth. So.
Woo, someone's got to be that. But honestly, I just want to say thank you guys. I learned stuff from you every time we're here. Vice versa. I'm sure we all just love putting content out to people. And I think, Peter, shout out to our podcast producer. He brought us little awards and champagne, non-alcoholic champagne, but it's exciting.
It's a feat to get to 100. I know
Yes.
there's a lot of stats out there that not a lot of podcasts make it to 100. I don't know if that's us just being stupid and keeping going, or our resilience on
I like the word resilience.
Grinding this thing forward. It's been a joy so far.
Yeah, so today we're going to reflect on our 100 episodes, but also we're going to get some wisdom from Kole Petersen. Cole's been a little MIA, but he's here for 100. Give him a little feedback, Cole.
Yeah. So, about 6 months ago or so,
Sounds about right.
I came to Cole and Baileigh and said, you know what? The podcast just isn't working for me right now.
Cole's calendar's tight.
With 4 kids, all between the ages of 9 and 16. So, and I know everyone has busy, but that time when they're that age,
We're 9 and under over here.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I'm actually, today is a perfect example. As I'm doing the podcast, I'm literally leaving from here, going to Cedar Falls, doing 2 meetings. My son plays at Waterloo East tonight. I'll get home at like 9 o'clock and then up and do it again tomorrow. So I
Different seasons.
Yeah, I needed the time back was number one from doing the podcast, and there was just a couple of other things like I felt like my heart wasn't really in it when I was here, and I'm not one of those guys. I'm either 100% all in,
110,
or I'm all out. And I wasn't all in, and I didn't feel like it was fair to you guys that I was here and I wasn't doing my job.
I hope you'll come back as a guest. So
yeah,
that's the nice thing is like you can be give us some wisdom every now and then, and maybe have some of those energized episodes or times where we got a specific topic, because you got a lot of things that you're
knowledge.
You're real good at and can share with our listeners.
I appreciate that. I don't know if you call it wisdom, but
well, we're gonna get your wisdom today.
I have experience. Let's put it that way.
I think that's what wisdom is learned experience.
Yeah, some of it is definitely. I mean, I've been through a couple of things that you guys haven't been through, so I can talk more about like those times. And I feel like I can bring a different perspective, but they're doing it every other week and taking 2.5 hours out of your day. I just couldn't do it anymore. So
well, I'm excited to have you back. Number one, because Cole, I truly appreciate you. Before the podcast, man, I was thinking 2021 I started working for you.
Yeah.
You've changed the trajectory of my life, so I always really appreciate that. And I'm excited to ask you some questions today to wrap up the 100 episode. That's crazy when you say 100.
You actually started with me in 2019.
Was it?
2019.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Because I was thinking
September.
Cam.
No, it was 2019.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm going to date myself. Okay, Cole.
What's up?
When we started this podcast, what did motivate you? Because you actually were the originator of the idea when we were bringing Cole over. What motivated you to get financial information to reach more people? Because obviously I feel like we have these conversations every day with people, but these are kind of more general conversations we're having and getting to a larger audience. So what motivated you, or what made you want to start doing it?
You hit it on the head there. It felt like I was kind of having the same conversation over and over with clients. And I was like, why is this content not out there? Why does nobody have this out there? And I did a little bit of research on like some financial podcasts, and there weren't a lot of financial advisors at the time doing podcasts.
There's a lot doing it now.
There's a lot now. But at the time I was like, well, I think we have enough to share, and we have enough knowledge in this room that we could put some pretty good content together. And it started out with a little bit maybe more fun and sports talk and things like that, but then it evolved to like we really just concentrated on content, which I did like. But there was just a lot of concepts and a lot of tools for people to use that I felt like we could get out to them on a bigger platform.
I do feel like we all feel that like we have the same conversations, maybe different, tailored to different people, different dollars amounts, but the information, the education is still the same.
A lot of commonalities.
Yes. And I think that makes people feel seen, understood when they realize they're not the only one out there asking these questions, because it's usually like, oh, I don't want to ask these questions. I feel like I should know these questions, which I feel like the podcast takes that away, where you're like, oh, they're hearing these same questions from everyone day in and day out. So looking back at all the 100 episodes, what conversation or topic stands out to you, or was most meaningful, your favorite? Like, if you could pick one or a few.
That's tough.
Yeah, that is
a great
tough.
question.
And I thought a lot about this. Baileigh sent me these questions yesterday.
I prepped him.
And I thought a lot about this, especially this morning when I was kind of prepping for this, is the entrepreneurs that we have had in the podcast. And I'm going to name a couple specifically, but I want to, first of all, thank all of our guests that have ever been on our podcast.
Love that.
These two just stand out to me, maybe because I have more of a personal relationship with them. But Craig Gerard from Brown Shoe Fit, when he was like one of our very first entrepreneurs that we brought in. I was just thinking
that was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. And I thought he just nailed it. Like his passion kind of came through, and I was like, we need to do more of this, because his passion made us think of things that we weren't thinking of. But then also Jackie Hint.
I love Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie is so well spoken, and she is torn so many ways, and she's a mother, and she's got kids and businesses, and so having Jackie on and just seeing her thriving, and she was just like, she was in a great mood that day, and she's usually in a great mood, and I'm not saying
she was in her element behind a mic.
Yes, I felt like she probably could have her own podcast and do pretty well at it the way she spoke that day. So those two stand out to me, but there's been so many good guests, so many good podcasts.
Molly.
Gosh.
With
am I going to get in trouble?
I didn't say
that one. Episode?
I agree, though, because I love taking other people's perspectives, knowledge, wisdom, and I love hearing other people's stories, because like we work with business owners, even non-business owners. It's all motivating.
You took the word. I was literally going to say motivating. It always came out of those when we got to hear people's stories. Yes. Like they all talk. They all have commonality of like, oh, we had this grind point, or I was down at my low, and then persistence, hard work, got to a better spot ultimately in the long run.
Because I think we've all been there.
Yeah,
like we've been
relatable.
Right, we've been to the lows and the highs, and
it's an emotional ride.
Yeah, it is. But that wife episode was fun too.
Yeah, I made made the guys get a little vulnerable. But seriously, Craig and Jackie were. If you haven't listened to those, go back and listen to them. But they were awesome. So I love that. Okay, Cole. What's a money concept that sounds simple, but you've learned over your time as a financial advisor, people really struggle to understand? And I think this is important because, again, when you're sitting with people for so many years having these conversations, you hear the same things over and over again. So it's real wisdom you're going to give us here.
Again, I don't know if it's wisdom or experience, or I'm
modest.
Just older, but I had to come up with two here. Okay. I couldn't just say one. And the first one I think Bailey's going to love, because it's going to include her favorite word is budget.
Oh, yeah.
It's either budget or Roth, one of the two. It's one of those two.
I do like Roth, too.
It was one of those two. I didn't know.
But budget, so many people live outside their means. Mm-hmm. Putting something on a credit card doesn't make it not a bill, doesn't make it that you shouldn't pay it. It just puts it on a credit card, and then you pay it off at the end of the month and you get the points. But if you're not responsible enough to do that and keep it within your budget, then
snowballs the wrong way.
Budget. Right? Yeah, it goes the wrong way. So budget, be responsible with your money, live within your means was the number one. But then the number two was invest early and leave it alone.
Oh, I love that.
So many people invest and then we see a downturn in the market and they think they need to change things and
panic,
update or move to less risk or move things around. Invest it for the long term and leave it for long term. You will make money. Almost, can't say guaranteed, almost all the time.
Historically, you will.
Historically.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, and I love that because I think people think a budget is for people with no money, and I don't think that's true at all. I think a budget's for everyone. It's really, again, just giving your dollar. You know where your money's going. It's just like a freedom in it, I think, and a responsibility. And I think we talk about this all the time. It's so hard. I can't imagine, like, you've always heard Keeping Up with the Jones since like 1960s or 70s. It's still a thing now with social media. I think it's amplified. You know what I mean? I see young people on social media. I'm like, how the heck are they doing all of that? You know what I mean? But I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Cole.
Yeah, the just to let that kind of, another thing on top of that is I had a client this year that hadn't invested a whole lot in the past, but she got an inheritance, and last year was obviously a good year, but we had a scary time, right?
April.
I mean, in April was scary.
Yes.
But by the end of the year, if you stayed the course, you were up probably double digits, and her accounts were up over double digits, and she let her money make money for her.
Yes.
And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm up $40,000. She's like, that's what I used to make at my job.
Yeah.
And just her investments made her $40,000 last year, and she just was, she just couldn't believe it.
What do you guys think that is, that people, because you guys see the other end of it when people do let it live and breathe in the market for 20, 10 years, whatever. What do you think it is that those people stay in during those? Because the
more experiences.
Yeah.
It's definitely the more times people, the longer they're invested. Like I was, before you even asked that question, I was thinking that I was like, why is that?
Why do people get out?
I think once people can go through a downturn or two and they see it come back, right? And they have that, they kind of ride that roller coaster.
Lived
like,
experience.
Oh, we were here. I didn't do anything. We ended here, multiple times. And the longer they're invested in the market, the more comfortable you get with the downside. It's never easy.
It's never fun.
Right? I think the hardest part about what we do is and I've said this many, many times, is you can look on an app every day and gauge where you're at. You get an up or down value at the end of the day. The market's down today. You're like, oh, I lost X amount of dollars. You can see it versus, a lot of other assets that you own, land, real estate, houses. You don't get a daily updated value. Unless you're going to sell it, you don't care, right? But the stocks or your investments generally are something, your 401k. You can go and look it up every day and see where you ended up, and I think that's hard, but the longer time people are in and they see the ups and downs, the more comfortable they get. Like, okay, it
will go down, but it will come up.
And you got us harping in the background, like, hey, just be patient, pay it like April, right? I think, that's where we earn our keep is people like, oh my gosh, and we were down quick. And I think it was almost 18%.
Oh, yeah.
The S&P was down April, and we ended up close to 20%.
Yeah.
So 40%, almost a 40% difference if you sold out.
So budget, invest, and keep it in there.
There you go.
All right, Cole, final question. If you had to narrow it down, what are 3 financial principles you wish every client truly understood? I know that's tough.
So this kind of piggybacks on the one before,
absolutely.
but another one that kind of goes along with the second one that I said, that invest and leave it in, is invest early.
Yes.
So make it part of your budget. Make it a bill that you have to pay. Nobody doesn't pay their water bill. Nobody doesn't pay their rent. Well, typically.
Some people.
Most people.
Situationally.
Most people pay their rent, they pay their water bill, they pay their Mid-American bill, but the thing that they feel like they can skip is their Roth IRA contribution, or if things get tough, I stop my 401k contribution.
Absolutely.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Be consistent. Stay the course. Make it an affordable amount. Don't go down to the last penny. Don't go down so you are really tight every month, but commit to it and invest early. Start when you're first got a job. Start early, invest, and be consistent, and then increase over time too.
That's awesome, because I was kind of, you're making me think about scenarios, like when you say that, and when you said when things get tight and people don't contribute. I see that. That's where I try to get people to do. We had a conversation in the last one about lump sum or spacing it out over 12 months. And it's the tough thing about someone that says, hey, I'm going to lump sum it, is like if budget gets tight, all of a sudden that doesn't happen. Then versus saying, hey, I'm going to do $150 a month. I know I can cash flow that every month and just be very consistent with it versus me trying to come up with $3,000 every January. We know which one kind of works better, but a lot of times life happens and all of a sudden then you're not paying yourself at all. Right? You're like, oh, I'm the last one to get paid. I can just cut that out this month and not do it.
But you always want to pay yourself first.
Yep.
And this is why I love this podcast because, how many times have you guys heard this? I just wish I would have known sooner how to invest. Or I wish I would have invested sooner. I wish I would have, you know what I mean? Like, this is why we put content out, because it's that 20-year-old, 25, 30-year-old, even the 40-year-old. Like, if you start today, $50, $100, $250, and you leave it and you stick to a budget and you invest it, it is crazy the difference between, starting at 50, 60. I mean, how many times have you heard that? Like, even people that have a good nest egg, they're like, if I would have started 5 years sooner.
It'd have been a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some proof behind that too. Like if you start investing at 20, 30, 40, that you can see it online. Yeah. It's crazy how much more you have. Even if you invest more later, you're going to have more if you,
you don't have to invest near as much, right? Yeah. If you start at 20 versus starting at 40,
like
right,
25, $50
it's amazing.
A month.
Yeah. There's all kinds of charts and stuff you can look out there, and that's the time value of money.
Yes.
And it's like, well, if I just do $100 as soon as I hit age 20, versus me starting at 40, now I got to do $500 a month to get to the same, whatever it is. There's something out there, but it's just the consistency really is what we try to, I think.
Consistency goes to 100 episodes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. All right, Cole, principle number 2.
So it, again, ties into a lot of what we're talking about, but the live within your means. There will be a rainy day. So
I love that.
The live within your means and save for that rainy day, because 99% of people go through life. There is a rainy day. You get let go from your job, or your wife does, or your husband, or however. You have an accident. You have someone that gets sick. You have a parent that you've got to pay for, something like that. I feel like people really live day to day, paycheck to paycheck, and they don't think about that rainy day. And if you invest early, you save enough, you will be able to
sustain.
You'll be able to get through that rainy day. I've got a client just recently that got in a car accident, and she's on disability now, and she's in her 40s, and they have saved for that rainy day, partly because they came to me early, and we've saved for a situation like this, not thinking that would ever happen, right? I mean, nobody thinks in their 40s that they're not going to be able to go to work. But it happened. But since they've saved for this rainy day, we're able to make it through.
I love that, because that's kind of what we do. We plan for the unplanned. It's not matter if life happens to you. It's what you're saying is when life happens to you, to be able to sustain that.
Prompts us to ask the questions. That's one thing I think a value of working with an advisor or professional is like, hey, what if this happens? Like we're the king of what ifs, right? What if this? What if this?
Not to be negative, but what if?
But we see it, right? We see it in practice. That's where we get the leg up of like, someone like, well, I've never had a family member have this, or you start going through and like, well, I had 3 people have never had anything, and they've all of a sudden someone had cancer, someone had this, right? Or someone died in a car accident. Like we see that because of the nature of us dealing with a lot of relationships.
Yeah. Most people won't go through a situation like my client is going through, right?
But you will go through something.
But if you prepare for something to happen to you, then when it does happen, you're prepared for it. So, and actually number 3, kind of what you just said is like, I'd written down like, don't always do what your friend or neighbor does.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's so good.
Get with a financial professional. Tailor your plan to you, to your needs, what you want to do, how you want to save, when you want to retire. Because although your friend or neighbor may be doing it one way, they may have the vision of working till 70 and you want to retire at 55. Well, those are 2 completely different scenarios on how we're going to save for you. So get with a financial professional, tailor the plan to you. Don't just always do what your neighbor or your friend does.
Recap those 3. Say them in order, because those are so good.
Yeah. Number 1, invest early. Make it part of your budget. Number 2 is live within your means. There will be a rainy day. And number 3 is don't always do what your friend and neighbor do. Get a professional.
I love it.
I do awesome too, because I think you are coming from experience. Like, again, we are fortunate we sit in rooms with people day in, day out, a lot of clients. And it's like, these are the things you're saying, like, listen, this is what we prepare for. Like, I don't think you can, like, it's easy always to look at your account and be like, you're up 12%, you're up 18%, you're down. But it's hard to say, hey, that emergency fund didn't make anything, but that sustained the plan that you're in disability or whatever it is. You can't put a price on what that saved you in our plan that we stuff for the unplanned. So we appreciate that, Cole. What would you say to your listeners or our listeners who've gone through all these 100 episodes? Gosh, I was thinking the first 20 were tough.
Yeah, we had some struggles, that's for sure.
But like anything, you got to experience to go uphill. What would you hope they take forward from the podcast or any financial podcast or wisdom?
I feel like the number one thing that I can stress to people is the get a professional. I've told the story about putting the grill together, and I'm not going to go through that again.
Cole loves
it took me 10 hours, but there's a reason that I don't fix my own plumbing. I can look it up on YouTube and probably figure it out. It might take me all day.
Couple days.
I can probably replace my own toilet. I can probably fix my garage doors. But there are professionals that do it for their job. That it's their life. They go through that. And I was with a client the other day, and he was talking about his retirement, and I was kind of telling him, like, this is what I think we should do, and he was kind of pushing back on me, and I was just like, I've helped probably 250 people retire, and I don't mean to be rude, but you've never retired. Like, I've kind of seen these scenarios and how people go through this, and so if you can take my professional advice, this is what I would do. So that would probably be the number one thing that I would say is get with a professional, let them do their job so you can do your job and not have to do your finances as part of your job.
And I think it's statistically proven people who work with financial advisors do better. They have better plans. They have higher net worth. I mean, I'm not going to hit the stats, but again, I always think it's like, yes, you're in control of money. It's your money, but it's the same concept. We talked about this, like, gym's like a workout. Like, I don't write my workouts. I follow the program. I follow the plan. Same concept. Whatever area of your life you're in, just have that support system makes such a big difference. And like you said, a lot of our job is the emotional coaching, because I think it's really hard to do finances alone. You know what I mean?
We're an accountability partner.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's like, we're kind of a built-in accountability, and that's the kind of, I
and
think
we know the ins and outs of things. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, I know the ins and outs of these accounts. I know the ins and outs of the retirement planning. So
yeah, there's a reason that people don't build their own houses, right? I mean, typically.
Very rarely.
Because they don't do it for
rarely. Unless they've done it for a living at some point. That's about it.
For a living.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't build your own retirement plan, your own finance, start with it, but at the same time have somebody build it for you, and you have input. Yeah. You pick out the cupboards, you pick out the this.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but don't actually be in charge of the whole process. Don't be the project manager. Have us do that.
I love that. Well, thank you, Cole, for your time.
Well, appreciate you guys having me on.
It was awesome, Cole. This is, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
I don't get to thank you, that often, but you're a lot of the reason that I even started doing this. Obviously, the trajectory of where we've kind of evolved as a group. So you both have been a vital part of that. I got to give a shout out to Baileigh as we were going through this. Right. And we change and make the kind of the evolution of the podcast. At first, you weren't even on the podcast.
No, I was sitting in. It's so funny. There's like a little closet here. You guys can't see. I was sitting in the corner taking notes.
And you have, even I was just listening today, like you've gone just so far, you've gotten so good at transitioning and moving the relation, the conversation, because it's a tough job to host. Anyone that's ever hosted a podcast, Peter, I know Peter's done it many times. He does a great job,
good.
But you've came a long ways.
And I know you always, praise Peter for making this podcast better, and the first 20 episodes were a little rough. But guess who wasn't on the first 20 episodes?
Yeah, I know.
Or 25.
Hey, we know our strengths. We knew we needed.
As soon as Baileigh came on,
some humor.
It got a lot better.
Oh, you guys are sweet.
And we appreciate you, Baileigh. And thank you, Cole. I didn't get a chance to say anything after. And your knowledge. So although we are both financial advisors, our knowledge goes in different areas.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, me and Cole.
So it's great about our office.
Yeah, we all have our different areas. So
which is why we like doing the way we do our office, because we can walk down to Cole and Baileigh. What do you think of this? It's a team effort. Yep. I love that.
Absolutely.
Look at the energy and emotion. I just love it.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you, guys.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
All right, Cole, before we wrap up 100 episode, we got to tell everyone, the listeners, what's next for the podcast. It's not ending. It's just evolving. So here we go. Me and you, big guy. How to Money with Cole and Baileigh.
I love it.
How did Cole become before Baileigh? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know if we, it should be the other way.
No, it should not, because you're the knowledge. You're the knowledge. But same podcast, same feed, clear direction, no more sports talk. We're just going to get into the financial nitty gritty. So what are you excited about?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep it simple, right? Every episode should leave you more confident about your money, and hopefully we just can hear some feedback and just really like kind of compound and really grow on the trajectory, and really help not only to the beginning investor, but the seasoned, the person that maybe has a super
advanced,
complex
that
situation.
Needs a Cole Jasky in their life.
Yeah, and I think we're also, we'll continue to have our entrepreneur segments. I think that's something that everyone seems to really enjoy. Everyone likes a good story. So I think that's something we'll continue to grow on as well.
I mean, and we thought about this when Cole announced like, hey, it's not working for my calendar, my situation. We respect that. And we thought like, okay, do we want to keep going? And we decided like this information, again, we're having these conversations every day and we want to hear what people are talking about. So if you have positive critique, we want to hear it. If you have topics you want to hear about, but really,
we want the feedback. We want the feedback to know what people, are engaged in or want to learn more about, or if there's a topic that maybe we don't go into as much detail as details we need to.
But so I want to say the number one goal of this podcast is always financial education. I don't think people can get enough of it. I think also, if you listen to me and Cole enough, we like to be very authentic. Cole's more of a nerd than me. I think that's very, very apparent in a good way. We just want to be real with you guys, because I think when you hear our story, other people's stories, and we just talk about these topics, it's so relatable. You know what I mean? And we don't want anyone to feel alone in this situation. So we're excited.
I'm really excited. I think there's so many different routes we can continue to go. And I think this is an evolution for us. And we've made a couple pivots already. We got to 100 episodes, but we've kind of changed the structure multiple times already.
Yeah.
And it's exciting as the listener, our viewership and listenership changes and adjusts.
Increases, yeah.
Yeah. We've really kind of tailored it. And again, we want to be efficient with everyone's time, but also, it's for us too. It's challenging for us.
We got the feedback like, hey, I love your podcast, but I skipped the first 5 minutes of sports talk. And that's great. In another lifetime, we all know I'm more athletic than Cole. We love talking about sports.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge another day. But honestly, same podcast. You can find us on the same spots. New name, just a slight change. Replace Baileigh with Cole. So How to Money with Cole and Baileigh. Please subscribe to this podcast if you are listening. It helps. You go in there, you hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, share it with your family, like it. That's what we really want more of. Also, we're going to add in the notes. If you would like to get an email every time we release an episode, there's going to be a link to our contact us at fullswingfp.com email. Click that and just type us your email. We'll add you to the podcast list. So every time a new one airs, you'll get a nice little reminder.
Whether you listen or watch, also, if you like to watch, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on the treadmill that are also podcasts. Go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We want to, again, it's all about
our pretty faces.
Yeah. Growing our reach. Yeah. Or when we make, I'm a hand gesture guy. So I'm always like flailing my arms like a dummy, so if you want to see that, get a good laugh, don't forget to find us on YouTube as well.
Yeah. We're excited. Episode 101 next, How to Money with Cole and Baileigh. And again, 100 episodes. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
I do want to say, this is Peter from behind the camera. Congratulations, everybody, on 100 episodes.
I love
That's
it, Peter.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Consistency beats intensity. Consistency beats volume. Consistency beats passion. Consistency dictates results. Consistency is what defines character. Rich Roll.
You've been listening to How to Money with Cole and Cole, the podcast of Full Swing Financial Planning. To learn more, visit their website at www.fullswingfinancial.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
For now, I'm Cole.
I'm Baileigh.
And I'm Cole.
And we'll see you on the greens. 4!
Security and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.